Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, February 26th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple of things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right, looks like we are good to go here. Let's link out to you guys here in Premium. Hmm. All right. As people join in, I'll go ahead and start market liquidity over here. So I'm just taking a look at everything over here. All right, so I'll start off over here at the liquidity chart. I'm gonna start market liquidity on the daily. Going down to the 8-hour. Going down to the 4-hour. Down to the 2-hour. Down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30-minute. Changes to red. Down to the 15-minute. Down to the 10-minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, so we have liquidity marked up right here, guys. Closest level of liquidity down below is going to be at 39,144, and the closest level above is going to be at 39,214. So those are the two closest levels of liquidity here. Here is our clean chart. I'm going to mark up 6:30. Mark up 8 o'clock. Identify structure over here on the 4-hour time frame. Structure above right here. Structure below down here. Going down to the 1-hour. And that's pretty much it for the most part. The structure right here too. So it looks like the price is currently rejecting off the 1-hour resistance up here. And the text is still not working. Let me try to fix this up. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, February 26th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. So I've marked up liquidity. 1 hour resist or resistance level, I guess. So price is currently rejecting off the 1 hour resistance. We'll see what happens here when market opens. If it comes back to resistance and tests it, or if it just comes right back down. There's no telling where price is really going to go, but we'll see what happens here when market opens shortly. All right, we have clean chart marked up, liquidity chart marked up over here. Going over here to our main chart, let me see if there was any news for today. We had news at 5:25, news at 7 and 7:30. So 5:25. Which is there. 7 and 7:30. All right, so we got everything pretty much lined up. Here is the PRB chart. I'm gonna mark up 7 o'clock so we know what time we're supposed to wrap that up. That's about it. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Who's here so far? Morning, Sisu. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Nick. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, news coming up at 7:30. Morning, Maria. Morning, Shannon. Morning, William. Morning, Andreas. Morning, everybody. Looks like majority of you guys are here so far. Yeah, a lot of people are in for a surprise today because there's no more YouTube live stream. So I'm not streaming on YouTube anymore, guys. Like I said, I want to keep this private, especially these breakout strategies, because I don't want too many people using them. So pretty much everybody here. I know we're trying to milk this strategy as much as we can until things come to a change. But a lot of people are going to be freaking out when they realize that there's no live stream on YouTube. YouTube. All right. Yeah, guys. So like I was saying, guys, this strategy is really good. Like we've done the data and it's really good to the point where I don't want too many people using it. If you guys are here, great. It's fine. I'll share. I'm cool with sharing my strategies and my indicators and everything with like 100 people max, right? Maybe 100 people is cool. But once you go over like the 100 mark, because I've been starting to get emails from Apex. Apex has actually emailed me in their and they kind of asked me questions about like my strategy because they know that we're all part of the same group because I've like kind of referred you guys to Apex and they see a lot of people passing. So they're kind of curious about like what I'm doing. They just want to make sure I'm not doing something that's kind of sketchy or scammy. Like I'm not doing any trade arbitrage and stuff like that, right? Which is completely fine. We're doing normal trades. So we're not doing anything against the rules or policy. It doesn't say people can't trade with each other. But they're just curious because they've never had like groups like this where they come in like, there's like, I think 40 or 60 of us that have come into Apex and everybody's passing like every single week. Like I think every day we almost have someone who passes using our strategies and breakouts and stuff like that. So they're just kind of curious. I just told them, I was like, if you guys want to watch the live streams, just check out my YouTube channel. And I think we have some people from Apex that are now looking at the YouTube. So I don't really want to share it with that many people as a whole. So. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Market is going to open in about 3 seconds. All right, market is now open. So we currently don't really have a trend right now. So there's not going to be much for us to look at here at the moment. So let's give it some time for market to kind of stabilize a little bit. Well, I mean, can't really give it time. The trend here is technically bearish. So let's see, there's no V1 pattern, or technically there is a V1 pattern here, but we're not going to have one for we're not going to have a breakout entry for a buy here because the buy signal already came up. So we would need a buy signal to come up after, where the momentum has to come up after market open. So there's no breakout V3 here yet. So we'll continue looking for a possible opportunity here. So there is a V1 pattern here now. There's a V1 pattern on both sides, actually. Kind of messy, but it's okay. So we do have a V1 pattern over here. We may have a breakout V3 setting up over here on the sell side. So if we get a sell signal here and a red candle following it, then we have a breakout V3 for a sell. The trend here is also bearish. So if we get a rejection off the pivots right here, this could be setting up for a PRB as well. All right, so we're getting a rejection off the pivots right here. This could be the first step for the PRB. Okay, no. So it didn't reject off the pivots right there. There's no entry there for a PR. There's no setup for a PRB yet either. If price swings to the upside, that's completely fine, but we need to have the trend confirmed yet. So there's no confirmation of trend yet. So there's not going to be any opportunity for entry for the PRB or for the breakout V3 just yet. All right, that high low got eliminated. So there's no longer structure there. And now we just continue waiting for opportunity here. All right, so we are now just waiting. There's no confirmation of trend, which I'm kind of glad because this thing's moving pretty crazy right now. So I wouldn't want to be an entry here to begin with. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing here to take. There's just a lot of back and forth movement. CTC, the entry came up right here, I think, for that 10 point that we were talking about yesterday. I think it already hit TP. Yep, we're almost. Oh, that I showed you guys yesterday. Actually, the entry happened right here. So it did hit TP. Rejected off the pivot right there. Buy signal rejected off pivot. So I came up, well, I didn't really come up with strategy. It was a strategy that I was already applying, but I kind of put requirements together. I think in the future we'll hold like a masterclass regarding the strategy. It's a really good strategy. So it's not a breakout, but it's a very quick scalping strategy. So I mean, I just got bored over the weekend. I got bored over the weekend and I figured, okay, there should be some other strategy here that kind of aligns with the PRB and momentum. And I found something that's pretty cool. CC, if you guys want to try it out, there's another entry right there. It looks like it hit too, or it's about to hit. Actually, so this one right here hit too. So that one hit full TP. That one hit full TP. That one, fuck, that would have been so good. So C6CT, this is the one I was that I sent you guys yesterday. So that would have been the 3 back-to-backs right there. I would have called it a day. That would have been 1,500 profit. So I'm always coming up with new ideas, guys. Coming up with new ideas. This is not a breakout strategy. It's just it's what I call a high frequency scalp. But it works really good. It's just momentum and pivots super quick. C6 here, right? Yeah. We'll come back and take a look at that another time. Maddie, I don't think you looked at it because I posted it in the group yesterday in the think tank. Basically, I'd be looking for like 3 entries. Once I have 3 net wins, I would have been done. So if I didn't apply that scalp strategy, it would have been 3 back-to-back right there, 1,500 per account. Would have been solid. All right, guys. So back to our breakouts. There's still no breakouts here available. We do have the bullish trend here. So now we're looking for price to come back and reject off the pivots. Basically, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for price to retrace back and continue. It doesn't have to reject off the pivots, but you're basically looking for price to come back down and wick off structure. So the easiest structure to look at would be the pivots, right? And everyone's freaking out because there's no live stream on the YouTube. Everyone's asking, where is the YouTube live stream? All right, so there's still no PRB entry here, guys. Again, this entry needs to come up by 7, so hoping it sets up. I mean, it's got some time. It's only 6:36. I feel like we've been on this live session for a while, but it's only been 6 minutes since open. Yeah, I guess since we're anticipating this to come down, it's just time is going by super duper slow, which yeah, it feels like time is going by a lot slower than usual. All right, so there's no V1 pattern here. There's no breakout V3s coming up anytime soon. But we will come and take a look at this shortly. Yeah, Rashida said the ATR is low. It's currently 13 right now. It's actually really low for a Monday, right? When the market first opened, it was kind of choppy. It was spiking all over the place and then pretty much died down. So now we are just waiting. So we're basically looking for price to come back down, retrace, push back up, consolidation, come back down, continuation. It's literally what we're looking for right there. But yeah, the ETR is extremely low right now. I'm going to replay this real quick, see if this was a rejection when trend was bullish. No, it's kind of hard to tell. It's too close. See, Sisu said Maddie, or no, sorry, might need to reinstall and uninstall. Wow, what's going on with Maddie? Sisu, this is not working. Oh, I just saw his thing right now. Yeah. Yeah, I just saw it. All right, so there's no entry here yet. Again, we're still looking for price to come back down, retrace, reject off structure, which is likely going to be the pivots, consolidation, and continuation. So again, guys, we're looking for price to come down, reject up, consolidate a little bit, come back down. Basically a W pattern, a capital W pattern. That's what we're looking for. We have bullish momentum, bullish trend. We're looking for price to come back down. So we know price is going to go up. We're just looking for this pattern here to play through. Come down, sideways, come down, continuation. So what we're looking for is really not that difficult. It's not anything crazy. It's, we have the indicators here to identify the trend, identify momentum. We just need to have the price action here to provide us entry for the PRB, which is going to be a buy, of course. But price is going sideways. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, Nick said that all-time highs at 39,343. I mean, that's a long way to go. So it's not anywhere near yet. So we got some time and some space. It's just not much going on here right now at the moment. Yeah, Kip said we're in a squeeze at decent supply, but should go through here. I was hoping to drop down a little more so that we can have the rejection off the structure, but yeah, I mean, it looks like price is moving a lot, but it's really not moving that much. If you measure the candle here, it's moving like 30 points. Not very much. Candles look huge compared to the other ones, but they're not really moving like a crazy amount. Yeah, there's no V1 patterns here. Liquidity above got hit. So if anybody caught these upper level liquidities right here, pretty much got knocked out, full TPs. And both of these right here as well. All right, still nothing here. We have some movement on Monday, but it's not this typical movement that we usually have. I mean, it is kind of typical. It's bullish, but it's not like it's kind of clunky the way that the market's currently moving because the 8 star is low. It's not like it's climbing up or tracing and climbing back up. It's kind of climbing up and then slowing down and then kind of just sitting there. So we'll see. So there's been 2 momentum pullback scalps that I've hit, if you guys noticed, or just one actually. So yeah, there was one right here, as you guys can see. Price pushed up, buy signal, retrace at this point, entry would have happened right here, full TP. So if anybody was looking to take the momentum pullback scalp, it was right there. There's no other entries that have come up yet. So my main focus is the breakouts. I'm looking for the PRB. I'm looking for the breakout V3. Neither of them have come up yet. So again, we're just waiting patiently for something here to come. We have high impact news coming up at 7 o'clock. So we just gotta, I'm hoping that the entry comes up very soon because we're getting closer and closer to news and I don't want to be caught in news at 7 o'clock. Unfortunately, I mean, in order for me to take these entries and test them, I have to take them. So it's gonna be kind of tricky for me here to enter these trades specifically. I might just, if anything, I might just take them with like one account, not like all of them. But we'll see. I mean, it's high impact news. Let me check the news real quick. So the news is forecasted to be very, very negative, actually. So month over month is supposed to be really negative. For the month of January, it's supposed to be positive. So mixed news at 7 o'clock. I was really hoping we'd have the entry right away, but I mean, as you guys can tell, there's nothing going on here. Still climbing. I mean, here's the thing. Price has to retrace at some point. It can't keep climbing forever. So eventually it's going to have to retrace and provide opportunity for it to climb back up if it does decide to climb back up. All right. And just a heads up, guys, for tomorrow, the live session is only going to run until 7. Okay. So tomorrow I have a dentist appointment at 8. So I have to like literally trade until 7. Immediately at 7, I have to drive down to San Diego. So the live session tomorrow, we're going to be really quick. I might even get on a little earlier, just to like analyze the market, give you guys some heads ups, but we're pretty much going to be trading just between 6:30 and 7 tomorrow. Just to get on those breakouts and then be done for the day. And that's just for tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, I'll let you guys know. But for the most part, tomorrow's gonna be for sure. Kip said another dentist, get those things finished. I know. Well, when you get your veneers done in the US, it's a longer process, way longer process because they want to make sure it's like perfect. And it's kind of crazy because if you go overseas, like people will get their veneers done like within an hour, or within a couple, like within a day. Here in the US, there's so much regulation, especially here in California, that they require me to go back and forth, within 3 to 6 months. So I'm finally getting my actual veneers put in tomorrow. And that's why I have to go to the dentist again, which sucks, but yeah, hopefully that's gonna be the last of my dentist appointments in the morning. All right, so we currently have a price retracing down right here, guys. As it retraces down to this point, we're gonna look for price to reject off one of the pivots here. That's gonna be the first step for the PRV. I mean, it doesn't have to reject off the pivots, but yeah, we want to look for price to come down pretty sharp and then push back up. So you can see over here, these didn't really drop really sharp. This kind of drop came down as like a doji candle. These didn't really come down very sharp. They did come down a little bit, but not very sharp. Like right here, you can see the price is not currently touching the pivot, but if it pushes up hard enough, it can technically come back up and push and touch the pivot once it closes. So either it pushes up strong and then it rejects off the pivot, or it just stays sideways right here and might come down a little further, like what Kit mentioned. So we'll see what happens here. And it's not looking like it's going to touch. No, not yet. So it's going to come down a bit more. The problem here is the ATR is so low. This is like we're not really getting much of these rejections. You know, the volatility is so low right now. If you have like a 20 ATR, it like spike. Like this is typically what would happen if the ATR was higher. You get like push up, spike down, push up, spike down, come back up like that. That's pretty much what we would be looking for. Yeah, we're getting close to 7 o'clock, so it's like getting tight right here. So I mean, if anything, there might not even be a PRB today. I think we probably will though, because the timestamps for the PRB entries are usually around like this time, 6:47, 6:50, around that time. It's like between this time period is where the PRBs come up most of the time anyways. If they come up too early, it's usually not the best sign. All right, so we have the rejection right here. Let's see if this closes. It did not close. Let's see if it drops a little further. I'm hoping it drops down to the second level right here. All right, I'd like to drop a little more. Or I mean, it's fine. See, I don't want us to push up too high because there's no rejection off that right there. I personally would like it to drop a little bit more. All right, looking for this to close red, or at least close a little more red. Like I wouldn't mind for it to spike down kind of sharply and then come right back up. So I don't mind at the last second for it to push right back up. There's no breakout V3 here, Maria. There's no V1 pattern. So no breakout V3 here. There'd have to be a V1 pattern up here, which there isn't. There's no double wick and no double body. All right, it's getting closer and closer to 7, guys. I mean, it's fine if there's no PRB, but I was hoping there would be. Yeah, so it looks like there may be a V1 pattern here starting to set up. Obviously, we're looking for buys. All right, so we do have a V1 pattern right here. There's no PRB set up yet, but this might be a breakout V3 setting up over here. Unless this comes down a little bit, rejects off the pivot, swings back up, gives us some space, comes back down, gives us another rejection and opportunity for entry. But again, we're getting really close to the news, guys. So, all right, perfect. So we might get the rejection right there. That's gonna be the first step for the PRB. Again, if you guys are confused about the charts, the red chart is going to be PRB. The green chart is going to be breakout V3. You can see BV3 right here, and you can see PRB over here. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at, just look at this up here, and I'll show you what I'm looking at necessarily. All right, so this right here is a buy signal. It's also rejecting off the structure. This could be setting up for both a PRB and for a breakout V3. Probably the breakout V3 will come up first. So if this candle here closes green, this is going to be the breakout V3. So that's all I'm looking for right here. I'm looking for this candle here to close green. And this will be the breakout V3 entry. got a lot of time on it though. It still has like 43 seconds, so it's not exactly ready just yet. It's got a lot of time here. All right, so it's got 10 seconds left on this candle. You gotta wait for it to close, guys. Just keep in mind you gotta wait for it to close because this can very well not close green. And it did not close green, unfortunately. There's no breakout V3 right there. So no breakout V3. This is not considered space. Just keep it in mind, guys. It's not considered space because there's a rejection right there. It's got to be like away from the pivots. Like it's just got to be space, like literally consolidation. So we have a rejection here. Or one of these candles can be considered a rejection, but we don't have space in between for the PRV. At least not yet. I think the market might just be flat until news. It's kind of what it's seeming like. It kind of sucks today. It kind of sucks today. Okay, so we might have a PRV here, guys. So we have the rejection right here. It could be either this green candle or this red candle, depending on if you consider this a clean rejection or not. I mean, some people would consider this not, like Maddie might not say this is rejection, but either way, the rejection happened here or here. So we had a rejection here or here. Either way, it happened on one of these candles. The first rejection, it usually isn't a big deal because we have space right here. So rejection space. The one that really matters is going to be the second rejection. So now we're looking for another confirmation, and then that's going to be the PRV entry. So I'm looking for price to either provide basically a big wick on the bottom side. For the most part, that's what we're looking for here. Looking for the big wick on the bottom side, which we're not going to get right here. It's not looking like unless it spikes at the very last second. No. All right, we need to get some movement here. It's about 6 minutes till news. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for this candle to turn red. I want it to come down a little bit, reject off the pivot, push back up as green. And then if that happens, then we might have the opportunity here for the PRV. Exactly. Kip said we need that big wick energy. We just need that big wick. That's really what it is. We need the price to push down a little bit. We want it to turn red, come down a little bit, and then shoot right back up. Because that'll give us the volatility that we're looking for. We just don't have volatility here, as you guys can see. All right, so if this candle wicks up and we have a big wick on the bottom that's rejecting off the pivot, then this is going to be the entry for the PRV. So just keep that in mind, guys. Watching this candle over here as it closes. It's not looking like it, or we'll see. You got to wait for it to actually close. You got to make sure there's no rejection there. So there's no entry there for the PRV, at least not yet. I mean, all we're looking for here is a rejection off the pivot. All right, so we might have a rejection here. We need this to close as a pretty strong green candle if we're going to take this. Because if not, it's going to reject out both sides. So we got about 20 seconds left on this candle. We got 10 seconds left right here. If this wicks off the bottom pivot, then there's going to be entry here for the PRV. Nope. No rejection. So again, right here, if this candle closes green, it's likely going to be an entry for the PRV. The thing that we're looking for is we're just looking for that bottom wick rejection. So if this pushes up hard enough, it's going to reject off this blue pivot right here, which is level 2. And we're inching closer and closer to new, so it's getting riskier and riskier as we get closer and closer to it. But yeah, like what Nick said, it looks like price might be gearing up for news right here. This might even be a breakout V3 from the top side now, because we do have a V1 pattern right there if we get a sell signal. All right, unfortunately, it's not looking like we're going to get a PRV. If you guys want to take it, feel free. I'm going to take it regardless because I have to take it, but you guys don't have to take the entry if you don't want to. It's just too close to news. It's high-impact news, too. It's not like regular news. I'm just kind of debating if I want to just take it on one account. I might just take it on one account because it's kind of tricky. All right, the PRB might be coming up, guys. We still have 3 minutes till 7. And the PRB could still come up here. So we're still looking for that bottom wick rejection. If this, I'm hoping this closes a little bit higher so we have some space in between here for price to reject off the bottom. We got about 10 seconds left on this candle. Oh, fuck. I was hoping it closed up here so it could reject off these pivots, but it's not looking like it. All right, it's waiting game. We're pretty much just waiting now for this here to provide opportunity. But we've talked about this before, guys. Like, there's going to be some cases where the PRV is not going to come up. It doesn't come up every single day, but 7 o'clock is the cutoff. And on top of that, it's also news. So it's 6. Yeah, we're definitely not getting an entry for the PRV, guys, because even if this here closes above it, the next candle would have to be the entry, which it wouldn't happen. The entry would have to happen on this candle right here. Yeah. So it does not look like there's going to be a PRV, but there's still opportunity for a breakout V3. Or I guess technically if this comes down and rejects off the pivot, we can still have entry because this is literally on the dot. So it would have to happen on this candle here, guys. If there's no entry on this candle, then there's no PRV. But again, there's news right here. So if you guys are not feeling comfortable with trading news, then obviously don't take it. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. See if I can take it on just one account. It's about to close.
Order filled. Order filled.
There. So the entry was right here, I believe.
Order submitted.
Yeah. So that is the PRV entry right there. It's right at 7 o'clock. Like right on the dot. So this is the only way to test it. Even though I don't like trading news, I have to test it because that's the only way we will know. So new home sales month over month was positive actually. And the new home sales for January was slightly negative. So it didn't really change, very much. But that is the PRV entry right there. Now we're looking for the breakout V3 entry, which might happen right here. Yeah, this is kind of like the kind of crappy side of like testing the strategy because I have to be the guinea pig. But it's okay. I mean, I manage my risk properly. So if I do take a trade, it's still going to count as a regular trade. It's not like I'm taking over risk. I'm taking half contract size. So whatever happens, happens. And then we'll take a breakout V3 as well to see if this here would provide opportunity for another entry. So if this candle closes red, this is actually going to be an entry for the breakout V3. So unfortunately, the stop hit for the PRB. Now this here could be an entry for the breakout V3. That was like crazy sound when it hit the stop. It's like stop filled. So, all right, unfortunately, stop hit on the PRB. If this here candle closes red, this is going to be the breakout V3 entry.
Order filled.
All right, so this here is the breakout V3 entry. Again, like I said, I have to take every entry. You guys don't have to take every entry, but I'm testing the strategy. So the only way for us to understand how this strategy works, and if it works right, I have to take every single entry that comes up. Can't be scared. It's got to take every entry. I already manage my risk, so I understand what my risk is in these trades. So hopefully this here hits. If this here hits, I'm just going to be at break even for the day. So like when we take these trades, like I mentioned, guys, it's either going to be a winning day for me, a break even day, or a losing day. But I'm taking the same amount of risk as I normally would take. So it's not like anything here really changes. It's like if I was taking one PRB, except I halved it so I can take two trades instead of just one. But again, today there was like heavy news at 7, so that kind of screwed up our position. Also, because the news was mixed. One was positive, one was negative. It's just really hard to tell where price would have gone because we have no control over how the market reacts to news, of course. So we are now just waiting for this breakout V3 to play through. Other than that, the trend here is still bullish. You see, here's the problem too with this is that for the breakout V3, we don't really factor in the trend. So you could have entries that are running opposite of each other. I haven't run 2 entries running opposite of each other at the same time on NinjaTrader. So I'm not sure if that's an issue. Like I'm not sure if they let you run both buys and sells at the same time, but I guess we'll have to see one of these days. All right, so the breakout V3 is still running. It's currently just around break-even price. Still coming down. And we're just watching this here move through. But again, the volatility is still very low, so we're not really getting that big push. Typically for these breakouts, they would hit right away, either TP or stop loss. But the volatility here is extremely low. So again, the markup news price right here on our main chart. Take this off. Go over here to our clean chart structure up here. I mean, price is pretty much in a range, it looks like at the moment. It's ranging between these areas right here. This is the 1 hour resistance level. This is the 1 minute resistance level. And the 1 minute support level. So again, guys, I'm not pulling the trades early at all. I just let the trade run, let it go to where it needs to go, and we follow it. So 1 minute resistance up here, 1 minute support down here. V3 is still running, but it's not looking super great. I mean, we'll see what happens here in the next couple minutes or so. The stop loss is like right at the V1 level, but there's not really too much volatility here. The trade is running a little bit longer than we're typically used to, but it is what it is. Volume is kind of low right now. So Now we just gotta wait for paint to dry here. All right, so here's the PRV entry. Unfortunately, PRV didn't work out. Breakout V3 is still running. There's no other entries here right now. There is, I mean, there's not really much. There's just a V1 pattern right here that we took earlier for the breakout V3. Looks like price is attempting to shift back down, but it's not really having the best luck at this very moment. All right, so we're coming back down right here. But again, there's no other entries here. I was hoping to see like another V1 pattern somewhere around this area, but I don't see anything. Like I was hoping we'd see something like this V1 pattern, come down, come back up, V1 pattern, come down, come up, V1 pattern until it climbs all the way down, right? But it's all good. It wasn't as clear, or it's not as clear as we would have liked. So the breakout V3 is still running in profit now. It's right back down. Again, like I said, for these trades, I'm just letting them run, I'm not touching them at all. Just letting them go to where they need to go. Let's see. So for 150K account, per trade that I'm taking, I'm risking, let's see what's 1%. So I'm basically risking less than 1%. I think I'm risking, oops, wrong number. So I'm risking about like less than a percentage point per trade or per day when I'm trading the breakouts, guys. Because my total risk for the day is 1250. Per trade, it's like 650. So it's not really much of a risk. I mean, every day I'm either looking to profit less than a percent, break even, or lose less than a percent. So, you know, it's a back and forth game. Again, today's market is just not what I was expecting for a Monday. I was expecting a lot more volatility, especially because of the news this morning. So for the news this morning, we have more news at 7 o'clock, which is Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index, some inflation news right there. The 2-year note auction, this is like pretty much just flat news that happens every month. But I was thinking because of the new home sales, we have some more volatility. We didn't really have very much. Tomorrow we have more news pre-market. Some more, it's a lot of housing news this month, or this week actually. New home sales, house price index, good trades balance. It's a lot of news on Thursday. And then Friday we have Michigan consumer sentiment. So it's not a super heavy news week, but I was thinking because of this news at 7 o'clock, there'd be some volatility, but not much. So the breakout V3 is still running. As you can see, it's running a lot longer than it should. Typically, this trade runs for like about 5 minutes or less. Glad it's coming back down. But again, I'm not pulling early. I gotta let the trade run. It's either full TP or full stop loss for me. I was just hoping it'd push right now, but it's still kind of moving slow. Other than that, there's no other entries. So the trend here is still bullish. You can't really look for any sells here for any of the other strategies, at least not yet. The trend is starting to shift a little bit, but it's going to take some time. As you can see, it's not, the candles aren't moving fast enough for the trend here to really shift to the downside. It's typically, you would see things like this where price would hit a top and then it would come down super sharp, right? But we're not really having that today because the volatility is so slow. Anything with ATR below 15, you're going to expect some slow movement. So not really much of a surprise here. Yeah, I mean, realistically, price is ranging right here. You can see from the resistance and the support. I already drew up the support and resistance. So I'm hoping price will break past this support level, because if it does, it's likely to come back down further. Hopefully back to open if that could be the case here. Let me see if I could market opening price here. So open is pretty far from where price is currently at. It's right here. So I mean, best case scenario, price goes back to open. Hit our TP along the way. But yeah, it's a slow roll. I'm really hoping that it breaks below here. So if it breaks below the 1 minute support level, looking for it to break below, maybe retest it, continue down lower, and that'll probably give us confidence that price is likely to continue dropping from there. So here's the breakout V3, still running in profit. But like I said, we're kind of waiting for it to break past the support level right here. It might just fake out here for a little bit, kind of go sideways, but eventually I'm hoping it does break past it, possibly retest and come back lower from here, all the way back down and break to opening price. Let's check retail sentiment. I mean, retail sentiment's pretty heavy on one side right now. 78% short. This indicates that 78% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So yeah, maybe price might not drop down super far, but far enough for us, hopefully. Check CNBC real quick. The fundamentals they're bullish neutral right now, currently up 79 points. In order for it to be very bullish, it needs to be up above 100 points and consistently above there. Right now, it's not up there. So Amazon joined the Dow. So Amazon's now part of the Dow, guys. That's a good thing. A little upgrade. So that's going to affect it. I mean, we're probably going to be even more bullish later in the year as long as Amazon continues to hold its weight. So we'll see. That's the only news I can see right now. There's not really much here to look at. I'm looking for some confluences here, but there's not really much to look at. Price again hasn't broke past. Well, it broke past it, but not closed. So I'm just waiting for it to break past the support. Let's see. Nick said feels like it wants to push down. Just wait it out. I mean, yeah, I'd have to wait it out for the most part. I can't do anything anyways. But yeah, it looks like price is attempting to break below it. I think right here it's going to churn. So it might just churn right here, try to lure in some buyers, like with the rejections, because people see this as a support. So if people are looking for the bounce right here, price is probably going to do the opposite, which is what it's happening here now. All right, so we got price coming down right here. Watching here, I'm gonna have to manually close it because I'm kind of too close to my entry wasn't the best, but still watching here. I'm just hoping it just spikes down. Like a big spike to the downside right here would be nice. Yep.
Order filled.
Let's go. Break even. Break even one day. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. Like, I didn't care about the PRB because I was like, okay, if this hits, then my break even. So if you guys took the PRB, yeah, Casey said, thank you, baby Jesus. Yeah, TP right there. So guys, this is what I mean. Like, this is why I'm not stressed out about my entries, because if I lose a PRB, I'll probably win the BB3. So I'm at break even for the day. No biggie. It is what it is. It's just one of those days. It would have been nice if we hit both, but the trade still hit as it was supposed to, and that's my game plan right there, guys. So like I said, I'm gonna have a lot of break-even days. I'm gonna have some winning days. Most of the time, I'm not gonna have losing days. So break even, and winning days. So like my main goal every week is to like really just get one win a week, guys. Because like here, I'll do the math for you again. You know, I do this math every time we get on this live session. Like, check this out. If I could do 1250, right? If I could do 1250 a week, like and this might look small to you guys. It might be like, oh yeah, whatever, 1250, right? But I have 20 accounts, so times 20, I can make 25,000 in a week, right? If I just do one trade, just one winning trade, one net winning trade every week, and most of the time you're gonna have more than one net winning trade. I'm just doing this to show you guys like the possibility of just being consistent and not really screwing around, right? Just take one trade, break even some days, one winning trade for the week. If I do this one winning trade every week for 4 weeks, That's 100,000 a month, right? It's a lot of money, guys. Times 12 is 1.2 million. So I'm taking it very conservatively. I'm taking both of these trades from entry to TP or stop loss. I'm not really stressing out about it. I'm just taking the trade, letting it play through. And conservatively, I'm looking to make hopefully a mil this year from 20 accounts, just trading these two strategies. In some instances, you might have weeks that are like better, right? So you might have 1250, you might have 2 winning trades per week, right? That's going to be 2,500 times 20. That's 50,000 a week times 4. That's 200,000 a month times 12. That's 2.4 million. So you can see the big difference, right? Between having 1 win and 2 wins. 1 win's going to make you about a mil. 2 wins are going to make you about 2 mil. So I'm going to take those chances and those odds because the odds are in our favor. I've done the testing. The strategy works very well. This is the whole reason why I wanted to take off the live session off the YouTube, because imagine, like right now, there's 79 people in this Zoom right now, right? Imagine 79 people making a million each, right? Not to say it's not impossible, but it's also not realistic. But just say, for example, everybody here is doing the same thing, and everybody makes millions and millions of dollars on top of everybody together. That's going to be a lot of money for Apex. So that's why I don't really want the public to use this, because I'd rather just keep the money between us right here, our little small group. We all profit and just rinse and repeat the process every day. So, all right, that pretty much goes for those two strategies right there. We'll keep looking for any other entries. There's no other opportunities here yet at the moment. But like I said, I have a break-even day today, which is fine. I'm cool with break-even. I'd rather have a break-even than a losing day, of course. And I just got to get loose. I got to get used to having break-even days. For the most part, I'm not used to having break-even days because I'm used to taking one trade or a couple of scalps a day. The only thing that I think is good about this specific trading style is that you don't have to be at the screen all day, right? Like technically right now, if we were just taking the breakout V3 and the PRB, we could be done trading right now. So we were on the chart for about 30 minutes. We ended up at break even, which is fine, but that could be your day right there. So every day you can just trade from 6:30 to 7, or maybe 6:30 to 7:30, get your money in, and then go on and do whatever you want for the rest of the day. Because this prevents you from over trading, right? For me, since these are the only trades I'm taking, I'm not going to overtrade today because there's just no reason for me to overtrade at all. I'm just going to come back and rinse and repeat the process tomorrow. So, all right, let's see. Jeff said he just realized he just traded 1 contract instead of 6. Oh no! So did you take the first trade with 6 and then the other one with 1, Jeff? Is that what happened? Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, but it's okay. He'll bounce back from it. Yeah, I always make sure that my settings are always the same. So mine's always at 5 contracts, and it's always set at the same TP stop loss. So I'll send you guys my accounts. I had to pay the commission, so I don't necessarily have a completely break even day today, but I mean it's not very much. So you still got to pay commissions on the trades, which kind of sucks, but it's all good. Yeah, just take a screenshot of. So I'm still in the red for the day and for the week, but I just need 1 win and I'll be back in profit. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be a lot smoother. And let me put the update over here. So loss for the PRB. So stop loss hit on PRB. And then TP hit for breakout V3. So here's the thing, guys. If you guys don't want to take both trades, you don't have to. If you just like one or the other, sneeze was building up. Sorry, I had a sneeze. So if you guys want to take both, like I do, feel free to take both. You're probably gonna have a lot of break-even days, some profit days. If you guys want to take just one, you can also just take one. It's really up to you guys. You know, it's your account, so whatever you guys feel like doing. I'm gonna continue taking both, but it's just gonna be up to you know, your guys' preference. So, all right, back to the charts over here. And let me just post up my so here, let me post this up real quick. And there's no entries right now, guys, so don't worry, you're not missing out on anything here. So break even day, Apex accounts, all red, commission fees. All right, so you guys can see over here, it's red because you have to pay commission. I mean, for the trades, of course. So small commission here. But I mean, it's all good. So that's the cost of trading, right? It's never going to be break even. Like you might break even for the trade, but you still got to pay the commissions. So either way, had to pay commissions on the trade that we executed, and that's why I have a small loss. But the commissions aren't very much. They're like $40, 40 to $70, depending on how many contracts you took. Other than that, there's no entries available right now. I'll continue looking for entries here, but if there's any questions, you know, feel free to put them in the chat, guys. We're no longer on the YouTube live stream, so I'm okay with answering whatever questions you guys have here. Jeff's asking how to make the order quantity consistent. It keeps changing back to one. So the way that I trade is I trade on the chart. I'm not sure if that's where you trade, Jeff, but so if you open NinjaTrader, it tells you what window you have on the side. And if you see on the top left, it says chart. The way that I trade is I use a chart trader. So I use a chart trader, and then on the ATM strategy, I have it set to like a specific contract. For mine, I call it 5 contract, 25 TP, 25 stop loss. And I just have that set. So every time I take a trade, it always takes 5 quantity. And then it also does a 25 TP stop loss. That's how I do it personally. I'm not sure how you're executing the trades, but that's how I do it. If you want to do it the same way. Thanks, Maria. Yeah, Maria actually just sent it right there too. So perfect, Maria. Thanks for doing that. Let's see. Lucas said if my TP was 625, but I only profited 559, fair to assume that missed out profits went to a combo of slippage and commission. Yeah, that's correct, Lucas. That's the same thing that happened with me. So you can see over here from my slippage and commissions that some of them are different. One of them like lost 15, the other one lost 40. That was because of slippage. I think this right here would the commissions are probably like $40, I think. 40, they should be around like $40. So if you went anywhere above it, that's most likely because of slippage. Which I mean, there's not a lot of slippage, but there's still gonna be slippage here and there. So yeah, safe to say that you probably just got hit with some slippage because you can see from all my accounts here that they're not all the same either. Most of them are the same, but there's like a couple that like got better execution than the others. John's asking, are the breakout and PRV both 30-30? No, they're 25-25. Yeah. The breakout V3 was initially 30-30, but because the PRV is 25-25, we had to put them like at the same TP stop loss so that they'd be break even. Because if one was 30-30 and one is 25-25, it wouldn't be break even. I mean, technically we have more profit on the breakout V3 because this one hit, but it's all good. I mean, we want to keep it the same and just neutral. So I'm in it for the long game, guys. Like I've been following a lot of the different Apex traders because I'm kind of curious to see how they've been trading. They trade slightly different. So for us, I think ours is probably like everyone has their own strategy of how they maintain like say their trailing drawdown, right? Like for us here, our trailing drawdown is it's all controlled. So we have a controlled trailing drawdown because we understand, okay, how much are we gonna, like every day we could either break even. Like for example, today, this is kind of what happened. Like see how we had a loss here and we had a win next? This was actually beneficial that the win happened after because like say for example, this was our trailing drawdown and this is our account, right? So this actually was beneficial for us because what happened here was initially the trade just lost, right? Like this loss and didn't really go into drawdown. So what happened was that the trailing drawdown never followed. So it's been at the same where it's been earlier. And then for this trade right here, price went to its TP and now the trailing drawdown follows. So you guys see that? Like I've kind of set it up to a point where the trailing drawdown is like never going to get triggered. That's why I'm taking 2 trades. I'm doing it smart. A lot of people don't realize this, but like if you're taking big trades, like you're taking the big, risk rewards where like price, where your trade goes like this, it goes up and then it goes down. Like when it does something like that, it's going to screw your trade up because your trailing drawdown follows. But for this here, we're going for only 25 points. So like every time we have a win, it's going to just move down a little bit, like slightly move down a little bit because each trade is only worth 625. If your trailing drawdown is 5,000, I'm basically guaranteeing that you'll never blow your account. So that's why I really like trading in this way versus other ways, because you're just gonna, it's either this way or the scalping. Because if you're scalping, you're also gonna have a good possibility of you not hitting your trailing drawdown because you're gonna trail your trade pretty quickly. The only problem is that if you go into like a losing streak, that's where you're gonna hit your trailing drawdown. But for the most part, you should be fine as long as you're using proper risk. So that's pretty much how I look for strategies when trading Apex. So I think our main goal here is really to not blow the account. And I think once you understand that, it'll make a lot more sense to you guys. Gosh, yeah, Jeff. So make sure you use ATM because if you use the ATM, it's going to automatically set it's just going to leave your contract size at the same size every time. Let's see, Maddie caught the high-low momentum scalp. Nice work, Maddie. There's a lower low right here. This candle broken close past pivots 1 and 2, and then it shot up from there. So nice work, Maddie, with catching that high-low momentum scalp. He also used the 5-minute as confluence. All right, Lucas, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Eddie's asking if I can go over the PRB steps again. Yeah, so for the PRB, so just keep this in mind that the strategy is still in testing phase, but realistically, it's not. We've already pretty much tested it well enough where I kind of know where it's at. The good thing here is that I closed down the YouTube. So if people try to trade opposite of the PRB, they can't because they can't see what we're doing here. This is all in private now. So now that we're in private, I can show you what the steps were. So there's a couple steps that are just used as confluences, but they're like pretty strong confluences that you should probably make sure that they're there. They don't always have to be there. But so the entry happened. Let me just rewind real quick. Or I'll just show you, let me rewind to the entry point. Okay, so market opened over here at 6:30. Once market opened here at 6:30, we're looking for the trend. The trend here was bullish, right? Because we had a bullish momentum. We had a bullish trend with a trend meter. And we had the pivots over here pivoting to the upside. So this confirms that we're on a bullish trend. Price pushed up. The first thing I was looking for was a rejection off the pivot. You don't have to have a rejection off the pivot, but again, this is more of a discretionary criteria. You're looking for price to come down and reject up quickly. So price came down right here, rejected off the pivot. That's just the easy way of identifying it. It's not the only way, but this is the easy way if you're not good at identifying price action. But you're basically looking for price to basically retrace hard and push back up. If you know how to read price action, this is easy because you can see that if this is the case, price comes down, it leaves a wick on the bottom, and then it closes a green candle. So if you understand how to read price action, you're looking for a retracement and strong pushback to the upside, which is basically what happened here. Price retraced down, rejected off the pivot, came back up. This was a price action move for retracement and continuation. Next, you're looking for space. Space, again, is discretionary. It's kind of different how people identify it. The easy way for me to identify it is to look for a doji candle, right? A doji candle and a sideways movement. So rejection, continuation, doji candle right here. It doesn't matter which one it was, but either one works. That's what we consider space. And for the next one, we're looking for another push down and continuation back up. So that's what happened right here. Price kind of went sideways. It pushed down to the pivot right here and it pushed back up, right? So rejection, continuation, space, or consolidation, rejection, continuation, entry. The only problem here is that news was at 7 o'clock. So this is what kind of screwed us over because news was like right at 7 o'clock. So, we didn't really have control of how price would react to the news. So right here is where the news happened. And unfortunately, that was right where our entry happened and went straight down. So that right there is a PRB. You're looking for, here's the pattern that you're looking for. It's just the indicators make it easier to see. You're looking for a trend, retracement, consolidation, continuation. That's kind of the pattern that you're looking for. The indicators here make it a lot more simpler to look at because you see the little retracement right there. You see the sideways consolidation right there. And then you see the other part of the W right here, this part. So price pushed up, retraced, consolidation. Right there. It's messier, but the indicators make it easier to see. So that's pretty much what you would be looking for when looking at the PRB entry. All right, so other than that, guys, we had news right here. News was negative. Thanks, Maddie, for checking on that. Yeah, no problem, Eddie. If you want to review it, just review the previous live sessions because I've been doing the PRB pretty much every day for the past month. So just rewatch any of the previous live sessions, and then you'll see it's a lot easier. For some days, it's easier to see. For some days, it's kind of difficult. Like for today was a little tricky because the entry happened right at 7 o'clock. I guess technically that entry could have been skipped, but it happened like right in between, right? So that's why I took it, but it's okay. That's the only way to test it. We'll have timestamps for these entries here so that we know exactly when the entry happened. I should actually do that. Let me go over here real quick. What I'm going to do now when I take pictures of these PRBs is I'm going to put a timestamp at the actual entry so we know exactly when the entry came up. Because if not, then we can't really pull this data. So like every time we take a trade here, I'm going to add this to my spreadsheet. And when I add these to my spreadsheet, I'm going to pull data from it, basically. I'm going to see, okay, what went right and what went wrong. So in the future, we know what changes need to be made. Hopefully, we don't have to make any changes, but the market's always changing. So can't say for sure if there's going to be any changes that may happen over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, next couple of months. I mean, we really don't know. So great profits right here. Kenneth over here locked in a total profit of 680 per account. Looks like he only took one of the trades, which is good. I think a lot of you guys skipped out on the PRB, which is probably a good decision, but I had to take the trade there to keep it consistent. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 accounts here. So well over, we'll say 6,000 for the day. Nice work, Kenneth. We have Dijon over here, total profit of 1,255. Nice work, Dijon. Great profits there. We have Kaner over here. He locked in 1,500 per account. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he has about 8,000 for the day. Nice work, Kaner. We have Lamal here, total profit of 500 for the day. Great work, Lamal. We have Andreas, total profit of 20 for the day. Nice work, Andreas. We have Jonathan, total profit of 150 for the day across 2 accounts. So well over 300 for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. We have Casey over here, total profit of 588 for the day across both of his accounts. Total profit of well over 1,000. Nice work, Casey. We have Rashida over here, total profit of 711 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. All wins. We have Rashida's second account, total profit of 710 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. We have John, total profit of 625. Nice work, John. We have Natasha, total profit of 744. Great work, Natasha. We have Nick, total profit of, let's see, he has about 700 per account. He has 4 accounts here, so well over 2,000 for the day. Nice work, Nick. And for his FTMO, total profit of about 200 for the day. Great work, Nick. We have Henry over here, total profit of 350 per account. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts, so well over about 2,000 for the day. Nice work, Henry. We have Daniel here, total profit of 120 per account. Or sorry, 1,280. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 16,280 for the day. Nice work, Daniel. We have Maddie here, total profit of 5,760, all wins. Nice work, Maddie. We have Patricia, total profit of 4,515. Nice work, Patricia. We have her 8 MT4 accounts, total profit of 967 and 469, so well over 1,000 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. And here is her other account map. Patricia has like 3 different platforms running. 750 on her, I'm not sure what account this is, but another profit right there. So nice work, Patricia, on all of her accounts, Apex, MC4, and I'm assuming this is DX trade. We have Madhu here, total profit of 1,050 for the day. Nice work, Madhu. We have Narith, total profit of 800 per account. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 accounts. So we'll say well over 8,000 for the day. Nice work, Narith. We have Drew over here, total profit of 1,800 for the day per account. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12 accounts. So well over, we'll say 10,000 for the day. Nice work, Drew. Yeah, Drew said he took a psychology strengthening break, but he's now back. So welcome back, Drew. And I haven't seen you on the chat for a while, so I'm good to see you back here. And solid profits on the way back. So there's no other trades here available, guys. There's a bullish trend that's starting to shift up right now, but there's no V1 pattern. So if you're looking for any of the official entries, it would be a V1 variation or a breakout V3 continuation. With confluence, there's no entries here. You need a V1 confluence in order for you to have an entry. Don't worry, I've been looking at the chart. So even though we were looking at profits, there were really no entries that have come up. So you guys have not missed out on anything, even though we've been covering stuff on the side. Here, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn off my Ninja Trader, so I don't make any dumb mistakes per usual. Right, my laptop is now closed. So no more trades on my end. I'm just taking the breakouts. That's pretty much it. And let's see what other questions we got over here. So CJ is asking, what contract size do you suggest for the MPS liquidity and high-level momentum? I just want to make sure I'm playing it smart on the trades while I'm taking the PRB and BB3. So if you're planning on taking every trade, CJ, you just have to lower your risk a little bit. So you want to make sure that your risk is going to be about you could probably take the same amount. So you could just take the same contract size. Or so first, what's your account size number? Because then from there I can figure out what your risk should be. Because you basically want to be able to take 4 back-to-back losses. Okay, 150K. So if you want to split it up a little more, here, let's see. So I'm taking a 5 contract. The thing is, I'm taking things a little more conservative. So I think it's kind of up to your preference, CJ, but I'll give you some options here. So, because you can technically still use a 4-5. If you're using okay, so if you're using, and then I'll do the math for you here, because it's just really up to preference. Times 30. No, okay, so I think 5 contracts might be a little too high. You might have to change your ATM because you're going to be risking 750. You kind of want to keep it around the same range. So you might want to use a 4 contract. Okay, so I think you should probably use a 4. I mean, again, it just depends. If you're okay with the higher risk, the thing with the other scalps is that you have a higher win rate. So odds of you losing those trades are very unlikely. So I mean, technically, if you're okay with taking the risk, then so let's see. Let's just do the math real quick. So 5 times 5 times 25. So 625 times 2 plus 750. So your risk is a little high, CJ. I mean, you can take it, but you have to understand that your risk is a little high because you're risking 2,000 per day, basically. So say, for example, and this is like worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, PRB loses, breakout V3 loses, and then you lose a scalp, which I'm pretty sure is not going to happen. Like, if you're going to have a balance somewhere there, you're either going to come out break even on the breakouts, or you're going to have losses on the breakouts, and then you're going to have a win on the scalp, which will recoup some of your loss, right? So I just want you to understand the risk. So the risk with this here is you'll be risking 2,000 per trade. So if your trailing drawdown is 5,000 divided by 2,000, you can only lose 2.5 days. Like you can have 2.5 losing days, right? So you got to be really on point, which I mean is doable as long as you don't make any mistakes. So as long as you don't make any mistakes, I mean, you're probably never going to have more than 2 back-to-back losing days. This means losing everything. So this means you lose PRB, you lose breakout B3, and you lose a scalp, like all back to back to back in one day. So you can see the risk there, right? This is probably okay if this is probably okay if like you're in your evaluation phase, but I think once you get funded, you might want to lower your contract size because once you're funded, you want to make sure that you stay funded. So that's just a breakdown. So if you want to break it, let's do the math for a 4 contract, right? So you 4 contract times 5 times 25, that's gonna be 500 risk per trade, and then 4 times 5 times 30. Or what you can do too for the scalps, CJ, is you can just lower your stop loss. Instead of putting it at 30, you can put it at 25. I think that might be your best option because then you don't have to change anything, right? You just have to change your TP. So, all right, if you're doing this here, so you'll be risking a lot less if one contract's smaller. You'll be risking 500 times 2 plus 600. So you'll be risking 1,600 instead of 2,000. So I mean, if you just want to drop it down one contract, you can. 5,000 in trailing drawdown divided by 1,600. Now you can lose 3 back-to-back trades. I think this is better. So either you adjust your TP stop loss, or you adjust your stop loss from scalps from like 30 to 25 to give you some like cushion, or you just drop your contract size by 1 to 4 because then now you can lose 3 back-to-back trades or 3 back-to-back days, not trades, but that's technically 9 trades. Like you'd have to lose 9 back-to-back to back-to-back to literally lose your account. So yeah, does that make sense, TJ? I know it's kind of it's a big jump between like 4 contracts to 5 because you go from losing maybe 2.5 trades to over 3 trades. It's a big difference, or 3 days actually. So I keep saying trades, but I mean days. Yeah. So if you feel confident, take 5. If you feel kind of like not too confident, take 4. And it'll just give you some leeway there. Big difference between that. That's why I went from 5 to 6, because you can see for me here, when I'm doing 5 contracts, 1250, I can lose four days. I could have 4 back-to-back losing days, which is probably never going to happen. I'm probably have a lot of break-even days. But when I'm doing 6 contracts, oh shit, sorry. What is the divide sign? Yes, it goes down to 3. So yeah, each contract size makes a big difference. Yeah, exactly. I think you're fine, CJ. So if you drop your stop loss to 25, it's going to make a big difference because you're going to have 5 extra points there. And then 5 extra points is like, yeah, 5 times 5 times 5. So you're basically saving 125 per trade in risk, which I mean, personally, I think is worth it. All right, guys. So I don't see anything else here happening. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, it's 7:44 right now. Time just flew by in the last 30 minutes with no other entries available here. So if there's anything else that you guys want me to see or anything that you guys want me to analyze, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll be getting off this live session soon, and I'll be getting back on for the mentoring session right after. Again, guys, just a reminder, tomorrow it's going to be a quick live session. We're going to be on this live session from 6:30 to 7. I just got to get in, get these breakouts, get out, and then I got to head to the dentist. So unfortunately, yeah, tomorrow's going to be a little rushed. Wednesday might be a little rushed because my fiance is actually going down to get her veneers done. I know it kind of sucks because they can't do it on the same day. But yeah, I'm going to the dentist tomorrow. I'm going to the dentist on Wednesday. But I'll try to, we'll run the same schedule for Tuesday and Wednesday. So no mentoring sessions tomorrow because I won't be here, but we will have our live session. I'm just trying to get in and out quickly and then obviously wrap it up for the day. So. All right, guys, I don't see any other questions here. Looks like a V1 pattern might be setting up right here. So we'll continue watching for, actually, this one may be relevant because the trend right now is currently bearish. So either way, since there's a V1 pattern here, it wouldn't make a difference because you still would be looking for a sell here. So guys, if you guys want to keep trading, what you're looking for here is you're looking for price to kind of drop down a little bit, give a V1 pattern up here, and then come back down. The reason why you're looking for that is because the trend here is bearish. You can see prices below the pivots. The trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. You only want to look for some sells here if you're looking for these scalps. But like I said, there's not really much here to look at. The ATR is super low. So you're probably going to get sideways movement from now until like 9 o'clock. Because between 8 and 9 is usually a slow period. It picks back up around like 9:10. And then from there, you have the power hour as you get closer to market close. So. All right, guys, that's it for this live session. If there's any other questions, always feel free to reach out, guys. I'm here to help you. If you guys want to sit in on the mentoring session, I'll post the link in the Discord if you guys want to hop onto it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop into the chat and I'll answer whatever you guys need help with. So, all right, guys, if I don't see you guys in the next couple minutes at the mentoring session, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next live session as we continue to maneuver through this kind of unusual trading week for Monday. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in a few. If not, I'll see you guys